practice. We're in the second week, and we've not had a day off. Those signs are showing, but our guys, the number of repetitions that they're getting is more than they ever have. And so that's taxing them. Now, the good thing is we're learning from it. Schematically, we're working on trying to solidify our nickel package. That's going to be important in our conference and with the University of Montana and the style of play. You know, the days of the old Dick Butkus days are gone with the white buffalo. You've got to have speed and athleticism. So we're redefining that. Still pleased with our two tailbacks. We're working on number 3. I think Omar's probably doing fairly well there. Offensive lineman. It's good to have Connor Range back. You know, he's been back a couple days, but still a work in progress there. So at this time, questions.
How do you feel about those nickel packages? I see some freshmen in there during that 11. I mean, is it a good chance, like, you know, a couple of those freshmen might work in there?
We're going to take a look, and it's good that you guys are at least able to see some of that. You know, we're going to take a look at those guys, but sometimes their athleticism is not caught up to being, you know, functionally out there in the middle of a game. Maturity does come into play, but particularly in a defensive back position, a younger guy, if he's got speed and athleticism. So between Chavez and Robert Priester, we'll probably take a look and see where we're at. CJ may be a little bit behind, but we'll take a look at those other 2 guys.
I know, you know, Colby remains your solid number 1 and Tommy number 2. Are you getting any indication of maybe where 3 and 4 may be? Or are you really worried about that at this point?
Yeah, we're concerned about it. But I think for us, you know, solidify 1 and 2. That's going to be important. And then, you know, there's a whole grouping of guys that are vying for the 3rd position. Typically, your 3rd-string quarterback is going to either play in mop-up situations, or he's going to be in a game where all of a sudden you've lost your 2 starters. And it doesn't happen a whole lot, but, you know, I've coached long enough that comes about. And so for us, that's one of the reasons why we double rep. You know, for a quarterback to take segmented work, whether it's just 7-on-7 or mini scale or some of these other activities, those are helpful, but there's nothing that can replicate the 11-on-11 work that they're getting.
Seems like a lot of the guys that are dinged up right now are freshmen. Is that just because a lot of freshmen, you know, aren't ready for, you know, for the workload when they come in here? They're not used to it.
I don't know if that's by chance or you know, because they're freshmen. The thing that has happened is our upperclassmen have done an excellent job during the course of this summer, and we talked to them about the importance of finding a way to stay on the field, finding a way to stay on the grass. And so some guys are, you know, they're toughing it out. They're working through some bumps and bruises. And sometimes when you're a younger player, when you're a freshman, you don't quite see that. But let's say like Sidney Malulu, I mean, he's got a strained grade 1 MCL. So that doesn't have anything to do with toughening it out.
I know you mentioned last week that you were pleased with the backup role that Troy Boylan's been, or the progress he's been making, and I noticed that he gets a lot of snaps. Obviously, Mertens is a veteran; you know what he can do. So, do you like his progress still, and is he coming along where you like him to be?
Yeah, you know, he dropped 30 pounds, and so he's become much more functional. And you know, the rotation that we'll have with he and Pat will determine as we get into the season. Ideally, what we like to do is get in a rotation where you have 4 and 4, 3 and 3. Sometimes we'll go 4 and 2, but we need to have a guy, you know, playing defensive tackles like sumo wrestling. I mean, you expend a ton of energy, and so we got to have depth there, and we're pleased with where Troy's at.